Hello, this is Steve from Beaute's Leatherworks. Today's project is this Louis Vuitton bucket bag. It's all crumbled. The bottom leather piece is all gone. The inside lining tends to lose that surface cover, and then it gets really sticky and makes a big mess of everything. Little coin purse that comes with it. So basically we're going to remove everything from the inside. Well, first we'll take the top binding off, take the lining out, and then we're going to replace this bottom leather piece. I think the piping on the bottom seems to be okay. If it gets damaged or if I can't put it back, I'll just replace it. Along with the binding, it's still in good shape. So we're going to salvage that. If it's not possible, we'll go ahead and replace that. We're going to clean all the hardware inside because there's a lot of gunk on the zipper and on the chain itself. And just condition the rest, the handles and the chaps, and clean the body a little bit, and then we should be ready to go. Try to give it some shape anyway. All right, so let's get started. This was a $495 project. Once we take the top binding off, you've got another set of stitches right there. That's holding a lining to the bag. And we'll have to take that apart too. Let's continue. And that is the lining. Now this is the material we're going to use to replace the lining with. Okay? It's not leather. It's a fabric, like something like an ultra suede the back. It's got a pattern in the front. You guys see the pattern? Very faint. I've done this type of lining on these bags a few times and it works out pretty good. Okay, some paperwork left in the pocket. All right, let's continue. Here we have the date code. SD is production for United States. 0 and then 5 is the month in May, and the 2 9s, or I believe it's 1999 was a production day. So I'd say this is over about 20 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's continue. Oh no, my nails. Somebody's gonna get triggered by my hands. Look how filthy your hands are, man. Why don't you get a manicure? All right, I'll do that. Not. You know, at the introduction I was saying I might keep the piping. How the heck am I going to keep the piping when it's half gone? So, yeah, we will replace the piping. Sometimes, you know, I don't know what I'm thinking. I get ahead of myself. I don't know what happened to this. I guess the mouse ate it or something, you know? Or, I mean, I don't know. I can't really tell. Nothing's really poured on there. Sometimes things, you know, pour on there like chemicals or something, but you can really tell when it's damaged by chemicals, but this is not. So we will replace the piping. Also on our 100,000 giveaways, you know, all those emails that were sent in for the drawing, I'm trying to see if I can send a general thank you for you know, joining the giveaway, but I'm having a hard time doing it. I feel bad I haven't thanked the people who did not win, just to say thank you for taking the time and sending the emails. I really appreciate it, but I still got to do it. And that is that. I'll take those feet off right there. And we'll take the cardboard off and clean everything up and start replacing. Let's continue. Now we're going to reuse this, okay? Nothing wrong with that. And the 4 feet. Got a good patina. 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 All right. Going on, taking things apart. We'll get to iron this out a little bit. Not really iron, but, you know, heat it up and smooth it out so it'll look good once it gets done. All right, let's continue. So check this out. That's a watch. You guys seen this before? This is called Clock 2. That's who it's made by. Clock 2. So you press the button. Let me see if I can get a nice dark. Isn't that cool? The reflection's kind of doing it. It's very artsy-fartsy watch. It was a gift from another customer. I mean, I'm so thankful for you guys. You know, it's so cool. I like artsy-fartsy stuff. I'm an artsy-fartsy kind of guy too. Check it out. It is a 10:15. Isn't that badass? Anyway, all right, let's get back to work. Oh, so we go ahead and disassemble. So once we take this apart, we're going to replicate that. We're going to basically cut a piece of leather. We're going to run that center stitch right there and give it some creases right there. You guys see those lines? Little crease there, little crease here. We'll stitch it on here and we'll continue. Let's continue. This is my post machine. I change the bottom bobbin thread to yellow. And she is ready to go. Now with the pockets, okay, we've got the leather pieces on there. First, we've got to stitch the perimeter of the little area there on both of them. and then we're going to come in, stitch the inside stitch with the pocket lined up, pocket attached. So we just have to make sure that we're stitching the same holes. So we're off just a little bit. We're going to adjust the stitch length, make it a little bit smaller. Still off just a little bit, make it a little bit larger. All right, let me see if I can get a better view for you guys. So now that we've got the perimeter stitched, we've got to put a pocket in the back. Now most pockets are like this, right? They go just like that. So first, we got to do this bottom stitch here. Do we do it like this? Just put it together and stitch it? No. You don't want the edge to be exposed. When I say edge, you don't want this edge right here to be exposed. So what you do is you glue this like this, okay? Just like that. And you go ahead and stitch that, and you fold this over, and you fold that over, then you do the rest of the stitch. All right, let's continue. So you have the rectangle pocket stitch, right? The inside stitch. We're not going to stitch the whole thing. We're just going to stitch the bottom right there so we can fold this over and then bring this up like that. All right, let's stitch the bottom. Again, you have to make sure that you go in the same holes. That's important. Is it always possible? You know, things happen sometimes. But you got to try your best to make sure that you're in the same holes. You can control the stitch. You can control the stitch length. Okay. Now my machine is fast, right? I'm just used to faster machines. Most of my machines are like this. But there are machines that are slower where you can kind of adjust the speed so it's not so fast. Then you can kind of control your stitch a little bit better so you can make sure that you get in the same holes. To me, I've been doing this on these machines, you know, for years like this, and I'm used to it. But it's not easy for some people. Look, the bottom thread got caught. You see now it's not. See how it messed it up? So we're going to start over. Now this happens when you don't hold the thread tight as you're starting the stitch. At times it gets bunched up, so you got to make sure, don't make a mistake like I did, and hold both threads. Sometimes I try to hold just the top thread, but you got to hold both times like that. Something's not right. I feel that it's not stitching properly. The tension's a little bit off. The top thread is a little. Okay, top thread's a little too loose. Or the bobbin thread's a little too tight. Got a little screw right here onto the bobbin case where you can loosen and tighten the tension on the bottom thread. Same with the top. You could feel it at times. It's not, something is off. All right, that feels a little better. Alright, let's continue. Alright, so once that stitch is done, got a nice edge that it's folded and hemmed. Then you put some glue there, you close this up right here. Now you got yourself a pocket, but the pockets are still open on the sides. Now you can stitch upside down U shape from here, go all the way up, across, and come back down. Then you can go back and close your pocket sides, and you're done with the pocket. Let's continue. All right, so we got the piece in. Okay. We've got the lining stitched up. Okay. Next step is to put the bottom stiffener of the bag, put the feet on, put this in, stitch the binding, and we is done. Till the daddy take the T-bird away. All right, we're getting there slowly but surely. All right, let's continue. All right, welcome back. We are done with another project. I think it turned out pretty good. The lining in there too. And I wasn't going to do this one. We didn't talk about the lining of that, but once I took it apart, it was kind of a little sticky. It wasn't as bad as the purse lining, but still might as well get that done too, since I had it all apart. I think it turned out okay. You know, just the new leather, even though I did tint it a little bit, the shade was closer to this when it was wet. So I assembled it. After I stitched it, it lightened a little bit. I was like, oh, you know, maybe I should touch it up again. But then all the stitching, everything was done. I didn't want to make it worse than what it was. I think she wears it a couple of times. It'll patina, it'll darken a little bit. And I think it'll match a little better than what it is right now. Otherwise, it's not too bad. All right, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please email me, bedos, B-E-D-O-S, at yahoo.com. And if you guys want the information about my shop, if you're on the main page, look at the About section, and it'll have my address, phone number, and everything that you need to know. All right, well, subscribe, share, comment, good, bad, thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys on the next project. Take care.